Kirby. Okay. What's up, everybody? My name is Richard Terrell. I go by Kirby Kid. Welcome to DL Live, a daily stream about game design. For the next week and a half, 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about Smash Brothers. We're on episode 11. I'm really covering a ton of topics that I've always wanted to talk about with Smash, reflecting the last 20 years of playing this game, my favorite game series of all time. Here is some of the credentials. We are design-oriented. We have a Discord in which we talk about game design all day. These streams, we put these videos on YouTube. We have a blog and a website. Everything's at Design Oriented, and you can find our Discord link on Twitter at Design Oriented. This is a little bit of a Smash resume. We went over this in the previous video. You can pause and take a look at that. Read it on your own time if you're super curious. But one thing I just added at the bottom, I have a handmade Kirby blanket, and this blanket was approved, quote unquote, by Masahiro Sakurai himself. It's funny. My friends gave me a blanket for my birthday, and it's handmade by one of my friends. So let me show you a picture. First, here is the tweet. Wait. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right. Zoom in. Oh, it won't zoom in, but you can see the tweet here. And I wrote it in Japanese to the best of my ability. It says, Watashi no, what is it? Watashi no tomodachi wa watashi no tanjoubi presento no tame ni, for the purpose of my birthday, my friend tame ni no Kirby no blanket o tsukurimashita. My friend made a blanket, Kirby blanket, for the purpose of my birthday. And then Sakurai replied, Famicom something kara desu ne, or dewa desu ne, Kirby. And he replied to me, and then yeah, that's all he said. So it's the closest I'm ever going to get to talk to Sakurai in the very near future. But you know, he liked the Kirby blanket. I'll show you a picture of it right here to not delay that any further. Hold on guys. Here's the picture. So yeah, Kirby is one of my favorite characters of all time, largely because of Smash. But I like Kirby since I saw him on the NES, and my friend showed me what these Kirby games were for my birthday for the first time. And then I played him on Game Boy and did a whole bunch of stuff, but this is not a cast about Kirby. That's just a random Smash fact. We're going to get back over to the topics. Talk a little bit about items today. I don't even know where I would have put that topic, but we're going to put it here, items, and we're also going to cross it off the list. We're going to talk about items. We're going to talk a little bit about tournament rule sets, because they kind of go hand in hand, and a lot of things about items and what they do, it's kind of misunderstood. So it's just going to be hopefully a short stream, and we're going to get in and get out. So let's pop over to Smash Brothers. So items are really cool. I like items, and I think that's one of the distinguishing marks of Nintendo multiplayer gameplay is items. I've been, Mario Strikers Charge, which is my favorite sports game ever, has items, and it's super cool. I love that game. Mario Kart, my favorite racing series, has items. I love items. The multiplayer in Four Swords GameCube and Spirit Tracks, Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, which is one of my favorite local multiplayer games, has items. What else? You know, random Pikmin multiplayer battle mode in Nintendo Land has items. Smash Brothers has items. I guess you could call like Metroid Prime Hunters had items, right? You're flying around getting those things. Splatoon doesn't have any items, which is kind of funny. But a lot of Nintendo games really go to the items route. I guess ARMS even has items a little bit thrown in there. But what's really cool about items is when you make a game and you make it in the, you know, quote unquote Nintendo fashion, you reduce the obvious complexity, but then you make the few things you put in there really dynamic. You know, characters moving through space, having these cool, you know, easy to understand moves, easy to execute moves that can do a lot if you use the right application. Then they pair that up with a unique stage, like, oh, you may play one character, but let's go to this stage, or this stage, or this stage. You know, all the other games I listed also have all these features. And then what they do to mix it up even on top of that, you know, even beyond just different modes and stuff, is they allow you to have items. And items are pretty controversial in a lot of games. I mean, obviously they add one more layer of complexity, but what they bring to the table is just this forced level of adaptation, which I love. Not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing what's going to drop. I'm going to mute this. So it only has audio to the stream. Refresh, and we're good. So, yeah, items in Smash kind of operate in the same way. This really cool layer where you're forced to adapt. You know, you can throw the items off the stage if you want. You can try to use them. You can try to make your opponent not use them. So many combinations. Like, you think there's a bunch of matchup combinations. There's so many things that individual characters can do. Not to mention the fact that every character uses items a little differently. Every character has different throw speeds, different weights for picking up things like crates. Who's my item character? Let's go to Kirby. Yeah, different things like weight and different things like in Melee, Sheik had a different forward smash animation and style with the star rod than other characters for whatever reason. So like there's a lot of complexity that's going on with these crazy tools, and I just think they add a lot to the game. However, there's a lot of issues that came up, and this is kind of where the topic intersects with tournament rules. So everybody played with items. And then one of the things almost everybody turns off, even if you're doing those crazy Nintendo tournaments, they almost always take off healing items. Everybody knows healing items are cheap. And the reason that they're cheap is, you know, if you're playing well and you don't have a lot of damage, you getting the healing item doesn't do anything good for you. If you're beating someone down and then they get to the healing item, it does a lot more for them. And it can kind of extend the match depending on how many randomly appear. It's just a bother, right? Healing in any multiplayer game can usually has issues unless there's like a really short time to kill, like in Splatoon, and you're expected to die and come back into the match a lot. For things like this, healing is a big deal. In Street Fighter 4, with Elena's healing ability, controversial as it is, pretty controversial. So that was the first thing everybody banned, and none of these. I'll show you. None of these, and none of this. It's just like that classic Looney Tunes cartoon. Oh, you mean none of this, and none of these, and none of those. I saw that recently, like a year ago. But yeah, these items heal. Maximum Tomato does like 50. Stars do 100. And they even have this cool new item where you can throw a fairy in a jar, and it only heals you if you are above 100. So otherwise, it just does this. Oops. Speed. Otherwise, it does this. It just bonks you for 7 damage. But if Sonic is like 999, kills him. Did that heal me? What just happened? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, so it heals you 100, but only if you're above 100. Oh, yeah, so any character. It doesn't matter. You don't throw it. I think if you throw it at your teammate, it may heal them. But I forgot about Brawl. They had a team heal item. Yeah, nobody cared about that. Nobody didn't use items in teams, and nobody put on team heal for crying out loud. I barely even got to see it working once. So, like, healing items are their own thing. And then you have stuff that are meant to be deceptive. Like, these two mushrooms look very similar, but one has an angry face and one has a one has, like, a less angry face. Look, angry face makes you go small. And you can be more easily killed, so it's kind of like a brief period where you're running away. People think that's funny. Warp Stars, people thought were cheap, but like a lot of these have counters. Like Warp Stars, I think are pretty fair. You know, they take forever to go up, and then they crash down. And when they crash down, you can pretty much react to that in spot dodge. I used to do that in Melee all the time. Like my timing was so good, it's just like, and it goes up and spot dodge, and then the explosion is only there for like 1 or 2 frames, so your spot dodge covers it easily. But then in Melee, people started wave landing down from the Warp Star and down smashing. Pretty hilarious counter. I can't show you that. Stuff like the Superstar is annoying. It's just like what it may seem like. It makes one character invincible, and then you just gotta deal with it. But yeah, there's a whole lot of items, and some of these are really disruptive. Like this bunny ear. Yeah. That's hilarious. Extra speed is just so fun to play with. So this was banned like immediately. Spicy Carry, like, what are you supposed to do with this? Just flames coming out of your face? Easy combos? Burn myself. Stuff like this timer has like a double edge. I don't know if it stops on a certain time, it freezes you instead of your opponents. But yeah, now my opponent's in super slow motion, just like Bayo's Witch Time. That's definitely not, it's highly disruptive, just like this from Mario Kart, right? Super disruptive item to where everyone else shrinks but the person who touches it. That's pretty cool looking. This looks like Attack on Titan. Like this. Anyway, Bullet Bills, pretty controversial in Mario Kart. Little Sonic, he's still little. Pretty controversial in Mario Kart, being an invincible sort of like rocket you to first place thing, but a little less controversial here. But every item does something different. These are sticks. Beam Sword, Lipstick, Star Rod, Fireball, which just got a new Ogre Club, Hammer, Bat, Golden Hammer. These are all your stick weapons. And then some of these, like Sakura has such a kind of a prankster sense of humor, right? The Beam Sword always does that. I can't throw these things. There we go. The bat is pretty strong when thrown, but when you do the smash attack, if you didn't know, one hit kills. Like that. Pretty crazy. This Golden Hammer is pretty strong, and if you mash the button in the air, you float. Sonic, what are you doing? Get off the cloud! And yeah, this Golden Hammer is pretty strong, but sometimes the Golden Hammer is a dud. And you just end up not hurting anyone. Let's see this one. I don't think there's any way to tell. No, that's a strong one. That's a strong one. Yeah, look at the dud. Wait, no, he was invincible. This is a good one. Nope. Man, the percentage chance of getting a dud must be crazy low. But yeah, some of the items just have these sort of like double edges, and you can never tell if you're gonna get a good one or a bad one. Look how strong that is. That's ridiculous. Nope. Maybe these are always good. Oh wow, this one I can't do the floating thing. What's up with that? Maybe I already used it. Whatever, some of them are duds. Then you have your shooting items that are kind of obnoxious. These are all your new shooting items, especially stuff like Gust Bellows. And you're like, hey Sonic. Yay, get blown off the stage. That's hilarious. Still Diver with these slow motion missiles. Kind of a weird gun. The only way to get Still Diver in this game, apparently. Bombs, people ban because explosives are just too powerful. And when I say people ban, I mean we used to play with items in Melee tournaments. We started with items. And slowly the gripes, you know, the things we couldn't really prevent, the slow realization that we couldn't play with these competitively. First, we just banned all these crazy things, right? I think we kept motion sensors in the game because I remember having strategies for them in team play. Where you like... That's hilarious. A Gooey Bomb was a new addition from Brawl. These are really funny because when you like run through them, they stick off the person and stick on you. And they're pretty strong. These smart bombs are like, look at this. And it hurts even the thrower, like most bombs do. But sometimes these bombs are a dud. I wonder if the training mode makes duds happen. I keep talking about these duds and nobody... It's close. Oh, I can show you how people used to show their Smash DI with these smart bombs. Smash DI is where you input a direction on the stick to DI, but right at the beginning of your impact instead of just holding a direction. So you can see me slowly move into the explosion when I throw it. Look at this. And then move to the other side. I didn't have to do that. I could even move up, which I'll show you here. See how I go up a little bit more instead of to the right side? Like, that's Smash DI. It's less strong in this game than it was in Brawl. People say it's less strong in the next game. Who knows? It's just kind of a thing. These X bombs, I think, can go either cross or slash ways. That's cross. And this maybe a slash? Yeah. I think that's random. So many random things. Deku Nut's funny, this tiny little seed. Come on, make my item spawn. There we go. And it just stuns everyone. In the flash, it's like an Ocarina of Time. Fun. Freezies are dangerous. They always have been. I used to do this in Melee all the time. You throw it up as hard as you can, grab and up throw him, and he freezes near the top of the screen. That used to kill people at like low damage. It doesn't look that strong anymore. Sonic was at 100 and something. This used to kill at like 30. Maybe I gotta time it right. So it looks like Kirby's up throw is not as strong as it was in Melee. You can't just chuck the item all the way to the top of the screen. I hit him on the way down. I love doing stuff like this. I came up with so many strats like this. He didn't kill him. I can't believe that. What is this? Missed. And you can, oh yeah, one thing with items, you can catch them with just hitting the right button and your character doesn't have to commit to anything. You can also catch them by air dodging into the ground or like just air dodging at all, like this, and you'll catch it. Pretty much every action you do in this game can get you an item, including jump attack. The very beginning of the frames of any attack aerial you do, you'll catch an item. If you dash attack into an item, not like that, you can catch it like this. So I think Sakurai added that to the game because people were throwing items all the time. And instead of going, hey, oh, where's my Twitch chat? Instead of going like, hey, you gotta deal with it. He made it to where if you're just aggressive against someone throwing an item at you, you'll steal the item, which is kind of cool. So some of my favorite clips from Brawl are when Zero Suit Samus started off with the pieces from transforming, and some of the best Samuses could like use those pieces like and preserve them for half the match. It's crazy. But there was a one match where it's like piece, catch, throw, catch, kick. It was like so cool. Nothing like that at all happened before. Because in Melee you had to tap the button individually for each item. It just wasn't as sort of fluid and smooth. I wonder, so like that new function in Smash Ultimate where you can't run through people, probably not going to stay like that. Maybe they'll just take out the Gooey Bomb. But then we have Crash Bomb from Mega Man, so, you know, who knows. What are some other cool things about items? They took out the neutral. I hit myself. So in Melee, you used to be able to hold an item and then hit the grab button, and the character would casually toss it over the shoulder. It's one of the biggest things, that's not big at all, that I miss from Melee. It's just like, oh, I used to grab stick items and casually toss them over my head and then combo into them. So fun. But you know, so there's a lot of interplay with items, and even if people are just going to chuck them at each other, there's a lot you can do by getting the timing right and then attacking well, picking it up, and then throwing it yourself. Lots of cool stuff happens with items. So the actual design of the items is great. That's why characters like Peach, Diddy, Villager, a few other characters can actually spawn items. Rob's Top. Not a lot, though, but some characters can actually spawn items to play around with, and I think that's really cool. Smoke Ball. You want to just distract players? How about this? And they change colors, too. Why? Who knows? And some of the Smoke Balls bounce. You see that? That's just random. Sakurai loves putting weird little, like, funny random effects so you never know what you're going to get. Oops. This Pitfall item is one of the only items in the game that, can spike people from the... It's the only projectile that spikes. There we go. So like you can see it here, look. It spikes them pretty hard. Nobody does that because nobody plays with items. And some of these items are really destructive. If you didn't know, Mr. Saturn, when you throw him on the shield, breaks it in one hit. It's pretty crazy. I don't know why. Green shells are like shells. Bumpers are pretty dangerous and fun to play around with. Bump people around. Slide around like crazy. Urgent, or what is that? Urnira? Or Unnira? Throw that against the stage. That's the most fun to use. Team healer, nobody used. Like, all these items. All interesting. Some of them are overpowered. Some have a lot of cool interplay and counterplays. The fact that you have to make every character specially outfitted with this. And then you can float. How do you float? There you go. Look at Kirby floating. This is one of the cool items. I wish we kept this. I'm using up airs really close to the ground. It's hilarious. Okay. And this weird rocket belt. So one of the cool ideas I had a long time ago was like, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, you could equip your character with an item instead of a custom move? And then you're like, hey, like, Lil Mac needs help recovering, so I'm going to equip him with this jetpack. And like other characters could pick items to help them, but you know, that'd be a fun idea for a mode, even if it's not taking tournament seriously. You already know about Smash Balls. Assist trophies and Pokeballs are so disruptive. Talk about an item that if you got in competition, you're like, this Pokeball could be, let's just see, it could wreck your day, or it could just be nothing. Oh, it's Palkia, wreck your day, and now all of our controls are messed up. Yeah, do you really want this to happen? And the range of different effects from Pokemon is just so great. Let's get this next Pokeball. Let's see what get out of my way. Let's see what this next one gives us. Oh, it's a Fleshinger. Like, this is not the same as that out here. Yeah. And then there's the fact that the items come in these capsules, crates, rolling crates, barrels, party balls, and grass. Look, grass. Just like in freaking Mario Brothers, you just pluck the grass and see what you get. Like, that's so cool. What? Oh, this is still not over there. I was like, what did I kill him with? He made it to where when you're charging these gun weapons that your character doesn't flip around, so you can play it more like a 2D Mega Man Contra style game, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so these crates are really controversial because every now and then, besides doing stuff like that, they'll just explode. Not have a bomb inside, just purely explode. And you're like, why? And another kind of gotcha design that Sakurai loves. Because he's done it in every game and he's put it in every single game. Let's see if I can get one. Maybe these won't explode because they're in training mode. I kind of get that impression. Oh, I just exploded. So the reason why that's bad is because it's kind of, explosions are strong and people didn't want to die to those. But because item spawns are random, you could be in the middle of comboing or attacking someone and all of a sudden the item's like, hey, here I am, and you kick it and then you explode and you could die. That's just really bad. Like, I can't believe it. I know it's random and it doesn't happen a lot, but if it happens at all, why would you really want that to happen in your tournament match? Just like, you randomly explode today. So, you know, items haven't really changed since Smash 64, and maybe they could receive some new, fresh ideas and reboots, but Smash is such a huge game that, like, so much of it hasn't changed. And there's still so much to explore. It's just crazy. Like, I recommend, instead of having items randomly spawn in, that they do like a Tetris thing, where you see the upcoming queue coming up in some small UI element, then they drop down from the sky, and they can only be grabbed once they hit a platform or the stage. So then, everyone knows what items are coming up. Everyone knows that they can fight over the territory once it starts coming down the screen, and then whoever wins it, earned it. A lot of people are like, I don't like items because it randomly gives the player an advantage. One, a lot of the items have freaking pros and cons, so it's not going to instantly give you an advantage. It gives you an advantage and disadvantages. Two, check this out. This weapon, if I were Bayonetta, if I were Cloud, if I were Mario, this weapon would be a weak version of the moves I already have. But if I was Kirby, it'd be kind of neat. Why can't I hit him? What is this? Wow, that move has no hitbox. Wow, this move sucks. But imagine that. So if a move, let's say the items are actually tiered, like a fighting character. If all the items in the game were high tier instead of top tier, then mid to low tier characters would pick up these items and gain a little bit of a bump in their tier status, and then they'd be high tier at best. The top tier characters, if they picked them up, would be a little worse, so they wouldn't want to. Therefore, they're not going to get any stronger. And then same with high tier, like you're going to be the same tier level, whether you have an item and you're getting hit by that or Fox is kicking you, you're still getting hit. So like it's already strong. And I felt like items was a legitimate way to consider the balance in Smash. And I know Smash is an open game. There's all these different settings so you can play however you want, but items are still a legit consideration. And you can imagine like Smash could be more easily balanced if things like that were in play, right? Because I can't see a Bayonetta using any of these rather than her own stupid broken moves. And Cloud would charge limit, he wouldn't need these items. But Kirby needs to chase people and he's slow. So that's just a quick rundown on items. There's a lot of other features in Smash that we will never know how they shake out competitively. I always wanted the competitive scene to be flexible enough to support like smaller competitive endeavors. So even if you don't have like a pool or a tournament bracket for it, get some people to take it seriously, invite them to the tournaments or whatever, and like have a showcase of all the different ways to play Smash when taken seriously. I thought that'd be cool. Smash is so big, you know, that's just wishful thinking. Custom moves. Custom moves are kind of like items. The equipment completely broken. We probably talk about that on another stream, but I really like items. I really thought that another way to get around the fact that the stage can randomly spawn in items and blow you up, every stage could have a unique way to drop in items. So let's say that Tetris idea was like from a Tetris stage, but let's say Mario Bros 2 stage had the grass, and you pluck items up from the grass to see what you get, and they could telegraph when the grass is going to grow, something like that. Like the freaking Shy Guys in Yoshi's Island come in and deliver items. That's super cool. That is super cool. But hey, whatever. You know, people are perfectly fine with Meta Knight gliding on their stage forever and Scrooging and being Meta Knight and Bayo being Bayo and a lot of melee characters being broken. But as soon as you put in an item in the match, like, oh no, it gives the character an advantage. Like, please. So there's a lot of arbitrary decisions that were made in the community, and we don't really have a choice but make arbitrary decisions. Like, we are making these rule sets for ourselves. Unfortunately, the community is huge. We have a lot of different voices and people who want a lot of different things, and we are self-run, so we not only depend on ourselves to throw events but to also attend them so we can keep throwing them. So in a lot of ways that makes us like a big family. We just move together and work together. The discussion around these things could be better, could be more transparent. I think Smash has been lucky to have people who really believe in the game and the community and having its best interests in mind to ultimately be the most influential for the community. So like, even if they do stuff that I think is pretty dumb, like lumping Dreamland together with Battlefield as triplats, like it's just so dumb. And the logic they used to make that decision was like very bad. The data they used to scare themselves into that logic was non-existent. Like, I had data, other people had data, but whatever. Like, we did the best we could. I'm still glad that the stages are in the game, in the meta, and there's always going to be ups and downs. So like, this is this is probably the best we could ever hope to achieve on our own without some like oversight handed down to us from the top. So among many other things in Smash, stages get reduced, items got reduced, and then cut altogether. I kind of remember the day when we lost them back in Melee in the Smashboard announcement, like, everyone's done. I think one of the coasts was more comfortable with items than the others. They said that in the Smash documentary. But it's all history now. We've kind of cemented how we like to play, and I hope that... I don't know what I hope. Smash is just so crazy. I just kind of hope people find a little bit of freedom to play some of these other modes. And then here's the worst part. If you put in too many items, it's trash no matter how you slice it. Put that item on low. High is just too much. It's just everyone throwing stuff and things exploding. So obviously you still have to find the balance even when you're using items or other controversial items. So go ahead and do that for yourself. But until next time, guys, peace.